Hello, everyone. Welcome to our discussion on Modernize Your ERP with Dynamics 365 Business Central. I'm Alex Gorel, your host for today's session, and I'm thrilled to have each of you joining us. Throughout this exclusive webinar, you will discover how to modernize and streamline your operations with Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central. Whether you are looking to migrate from a legacy ERP system or considering implementing Business Central from scratch, this session will offer much needed guidance and assistance for successful deployment, management, and optimization. Before we get started, a few quick housekeeping notes. If you have any questions during the discussion, please feel free to drop them in the Q&A and we'll address them at the end of the session. We'll be sharing a special offer to all attendees, and you'll also receive access to the recording. As you may already be aware, Synoptek delivers accelerated business results through systems integration and managed services. We deliver full lifecycle technology consulting, implementation, and managed services for both application layer and infrastructure layer solutions, supported by the Synoptek platform that delivers consistent reporting, service levels, and an integrated experience across offerings. We are a leading cloud platform managed services provider and have strong alliances and partnerships. I'd like to introduce our speakers. AK Nandwana, Vice President of Business Applications at Synoptek. He leverages over 2 decades of experience across leading platforms to drive business growth and innovation. He also successfully led over 500 client deployments in various industries. We have Manan Thacker, Director of Consulting at Synoptek. He's a dynamic IT professional with expertise in cloud, enterprise, mobility, and finance systems, excelling in solution architecture, strategy roadmaps, and risk management across various industries. And then we have Charles Blazczak. He's a seasoned solution architect specializing in Dynamics 365 Business Central and customer engagement, with a proven track record of leading high-impact digital transformation projects in manufacturing and distribution. In today's agenda, we will be touching on the following. Is your business prepared for rapid change? An introduction to Microsoft D365 Business Central. We'll have an open conversation about bottlenecks in modernizing ERP. And we'll talk about Synoptek's unique approach to bottlenecks. We'll also bring in some real-life stories. Now, without further ado, I invite Manan to get us started.
Thanks, Alex. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. So I think the biggest question right now is that what exactly is happening with your business, and is your business prepared for the rapid change? Now, I think as depicted in this graph here, you can see that an alarming 20% of small to medium businesses will cease operations by 2025 because they cannot pivot quickly enough to digitize their operations to meet evolving customer demands. This is not just a wake-up call, it's a clarion call for all of us to rethink how agile our businesses are in adapting to the new technology landscape. As you can see that if you do not adopt this change, then there's going to be a lot of challenges that is coming to your way because all the competitors are adopting the latest technology. People have expectation from a different perspective, not just your customer, but for your employee as well. The overall work environment is changing. About 73% of employees now desire a flexible hybrid work option to stay relevant in the post-pandemic world. I mean, all of us have experienced that how the entire dynamics have changed. Now everybody wants to leverage either work from home or they want to work in a hybrid environment. This shift is significant and impacting not just where we work, but how our businesses operate and compete. It changes how we must approach the productivity, collaboration, and the employee satisfaction. Equally compelling is the viewpoint from our financial leaders, specifically talking about the CFOs. 76% of CFOs are dissatisfied with the level of cross-functional collaboration that they see, which is very crucial. How your operations, how your financials um, planning is being connected, whether you're getting the real-time visibility from the data that your system is generating. Are your people, are your team collaborating with each other the way they should be? Are they effective enough? These are some of the concerns that we have seen CFOs nowadays posing. And what exactly does it mean to the business? Each of these statistics underscore a unique challenge in today's digital economy, emphasizing the need for robust and scalable solution that can meet this rapidly changing demand. The dynamics are quickly changing, and this is not just applicable for a specific size of business, starting with the SMBs to large scale enterprise. It is applicable to everyone. And a lot of people have started adopting this change, and this rapid changing need has actually called for a need for digital transformation. And then you can see that how people have adopted, whether they are moving from their traditional ERP to modern ERPs, or they are implementing more connected systems. You can see that nowadays everybody is talking about AI, and it is not just about talk, but it's also about adoption. So we can see that that is happening a lot. And with that, if we can say, like, what are the specific challenges that the SMBs are facing? And whenever I say that SMB, I think it's not just limited to SMB. Now, all the enterprises have also kind of figured that they have to operate in a way so that they can compete with all the scales and size of the business. So let's dive deeper into the specific challenges the industry is facing in this transformation era. So the core of many issues lie in the outdated technology or the systems that many businesses struggle with, the data silos and disconnected system that significantly hinder their efficient operations across the department. As you can see that the systems are not really integrated, and there are a lot of challenges that come because of those disconnected systems or maybe kind of decentralized systems. So if you want to ensure that your departments are operating with efficiency, you want to reduce or cut the time between the operation, once the operation is happening, the data exchange that happens between those different systems or different people while the processes are being executed. The lack of integration lead to reduced efficiency and increased error, which can stifle the overall growth and innovation. Moreover, that our sales team often lack the necessary tools to maximize the sales opportunity. We often come across situations where sales guys are struggling with the kind of right set of tools are not available to them. In today's market, the customer expect a personalized communication. They want to ensure that they are getting the tailored communication to their need and preferences. It's not that general kind of communication is being given to them. So how do we bring that personalization? How do we infuse AI? Is it available to everyone? Now, if most people are using it, if your sales team is not using, they might be lacking with that. So without the right tool, and personalizing at the scale becomes time intensive and impractical, ultimately impacting the customer satisfaction and retention. You can see that many a time there is a churn because the customer is somehow not getting that kind of personalized treatment. Your sales team always want to be on top of what is happening with their customer, the changing demand and the need of the industry. Another critical issue is that the complexity and limited resources that many industries are facing. This constraint makes it hard to adapt quickly to market changes. Traditional flexible processes consume significant time and resources to streamline. Additionally, many industry leaders lack the deep in-house coding and IT system expertise, which further complicates the overall ability to quickly innovate and stay competitive. They often have to, I mean, we have always seen that there are issues with the talent. They're not able to attract the right set of people, or somehow they are not able to retain the right set of talent. So how do we overcome that? So as we progress further into this session, we'll learn how to some of those challenges been overcome, and how people are taking help from the industry or the experts or the partner ecosystem to overcome some of these challenges. So these are not just the operational, but the strategic challenges that we also see. They require a rethinking of how technology can be leveraged to not just support, but to propel the overall business growth. The solution often lies in adopting the modern ERP system that provides seamless integration, real-time analytics, uh, the flexibility to adapt to changing business needs, infusing the AI in the overall outcome, and also leveraging how the machine learning tools are being pushed out in market and taking the advantage of that. Maybe having your own machine learning algorithm trained on the basis of the data that your system or your organization is actually generating. So that can help you to get that level of personalization. Now, all this is possible on the back of a modern ERP. So let's see, we have a poll that we can see how that poll can help you in figuring out that how you are prepared or how are you considering the modern ERP into that. So as you can see, there is a poll on your screen which says that what are your top 3 priorities for a modern ERP system? So if you can spend few seconds just to respond to this, select the choices that you feel is necessary based on your business. Okay. Assuming a lot of you are responding to this, we are getting the response count increased quickly. We'll take another 10 seconds and we can quickly move to the next slide where we will talk about uh, some of the interesting stuff in how the disruption has become a new normal these days. I think that everybody agrees that things have disrupted already. It's changes the new normal. I mean, it's not just being said, but that's what is happening. Now, I see that the poll has been closed. Thank you so much for all those who have responded. So let's quickly look at that. If the company fails to innovate and adapt, they will be overtaken by more forward-thinking competitors now more than ever. Leaders of the small and mid-sized businesses need to ensure that the people are enabled to deliver on the customer expectation no matter where they are or what comes next. Cloud-based, or I would say modern ERP systems like Microsoft Dynamics Business Central are no longer a luxury, but it's a necessary. Uh, they enable businesses to implement new digital business models swiftly and scale operations globally without the burden of heavy infrastructure investment. These systems provide the agility SMBs need to quickly respond to market changes, manage resources more effectively, and achieve global reach without significant upfront cost. As we embrace the disruption, we must ask ourselves, how can we use this advanced ERP solution to transform our businesses? How do we leverage this technology to not only survive, but thrive in the market where the change is the only constant? What we are saying is that the business model changes of the last decade are nowhere near to the changes that are coming. Game-changing innovation begins in the business model and not in the product itself. Coupled with this, the fact that the market volatility is turning business as usual into the business unusual. Since the global pandemic, there simply is no steadfast norm. The leaders are facing the labor shortage, rising the wage cost, multi-generational workforce challenges, along with a mindset shift where people are fundamentally thinking differently about how, when, and where they work. People want transparency, accountability, and connection across their businesses. So, in a way, integrating a cloud-based modern ERP into your digital transformation strategy isn't just about keeping up with the technology, but it's also about setting a foundation for continuous innovation and growth. So, this kind of tells us that we should be prepared for the disruption that is there. Most of you have recognized that there is a need for a modern ERP, there is a need for digital transformation. So we have a poll that tells you, or I mean, we just want to understand that how are you kind of prioritizing the cloud-based ERP into your organizational digital transformation strategy. So if you can help us understand that, it will be more interesting for us going forward in this session. That will allow us to understand that how you are taking this modern ERP implementation into the overall growth strategy for the digital transformation. So I can see that a lot of you have started responding to this. Without going much into the responses of this, let's just go on to the next slide where we'll be talking about what this cloud-based ERP Business Central is and how it is helping in solving the bottlenecks that are there in the industry, and how some of these challenges that we have seen happening across the industry is being overcome by some of this digital ERP. So with that, I will
All right,
introduce
thank
to
you.
Charles. You want to take it over?
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you, Manan. Hi, thanks everyone for joining this this conversation today. And Manan shared a lot of like trends that we are witnessing, and as we come across our this customer CIO conversations on a day-to-day basis. Let's dive into the core of this this topic about the modernizing your business application or ERP using Business Central. And it has like three different topics that we will cover in the next section. So first one is I'll invite our expert on Business Central. His name is Charles. He's on the call, and he will talk about Business Central as an ERP and why it is so unique and popular today. Actually, where Microsoft has already reached around like literally 40,000 customers in just no time. Actually, which is like a fastest growth by any cloud ERP. And then the second one is we will keep it as an open conversation in terms of what we are hearing from our CIOs in terms of the key bottlenecks in modernizing ERP, and how you feel in your individual situation. Like, are you also facing some of those like top of the mind, the bottlenecks actually, and then leading to the how Synoptek is uniquely approaching some of these bottlenecks to help our customers overcome those bottlenecks and still modernize their ERP actually. So that's our next session. So with that, Charles, you want to take us through the D365 Business Central as an ERP?
Yeah, thanks, AK. So Microsoft Dynamics 365 BC is your go-to solution for managing and streamlining your business operations. Let's spend a few minutes just exploring how BC can mitigate your risks and solve your challenges today and in the future. And one of the first things start with BC is how scalable it is. It's something that we can design and deploy from a small footprint and then grow into and just expand rapidly. So BC can grow with you. It's designed to be flexible. And so once again, you can start with its essentials, and there's no fear of outgrowing your system. BC integrates all of your core business processes, finance, supply chain, sales, customer service, into a single unified platform. This gives you a 360-degree view of your business, so you can see how everything connects. You can start with imagining your finance team having real-time access to updates from sales and inventory, allowing them to generate accurate reports faster than ever. BC breaks down the silos and gets everyone on the same page and fostering better communication and collaboration across the board. In today's fast-paced world, real-time data is key, and BC is going to give you the powerful tools to analyze and report on every aspect of your operation. And this is where Microsoft Copilot comes in. Copilot provides AI-powered insights and recommendations based on your data, and whether you're tracking cash flow, managing inventory, understanding customer behavior. BC's real-time insights powered by Copilot let you make informed decisions on the fly. Same with Power BI, customizable dashboards, and Copilot's intelligent suggestions. You can visualize that data that matters most to you, spot trends, and take action with confidence. Another key feature of BC is all about the automation. So routine tasks like invoicing, creating and managing purchase orders, inventory can be automated. So when inventory hits a certain level, BC can automatically reorder from your suppliers, thus reducing errors, increasing some of your time saving, and keeps your operation running smoothly. And by automating that repetitive stuff, your team can focus on the big picture strategies that drive growth. It gives you all the tools you need for budgeting, cash flow forecasting, financial reporting. With BC, tracking expenses, managing accounts, staying compliant with regulations is a breeze. And with the advanced financial reporting, you can generate detailed financial reports. One of the best things about BC is how well it plays with other Microsoft products as well. So if you're using Office 365, Teams, Power BI, BC can integrate seamlessly into those applications. This means data flows smoothly across your apps, enhancing productivity and making your team's life easier. Imagine managing customer interactions in Outlook and having BC automatically update the relevant customer records in real time, removing any double data entry. It's just smooth, consistent workflows across your entire organization, across any device, anywhere. For those of you in supply chain management, BC has got you covered as well. You can track your inventory from procurement to sales and ensure you have the right products in the right quantities at the right time. BC supports demand forecasting, helping you anticipate stock needs based on historical data. This means fewer stockouts, less overstock, and better control over your inventory, which translate to cost savings and improved efficiency. And with Copilot's AI-enhanced forecasting, you can predict trends more accurately and make more informed supply chain decisions. BC just doesn't stop at operations. It's also a powerful CRM tool to manage and nurture your customer relationships effectively, from tracking interactions to managing sales pipelines. With BC, you can deliver this personalized service and improve customer satisfaction and boost sales. It's all about building a stronger relationship and driving long-term success. BC offers the flexibility of both deploying on cloud or in an on-premise environment if so required within your organization. Either way, BC delivers the same powerful functionality, ensuring your operations remain seamless and secure. Now, how do you get from where you are today and realizing the full potential of BC? And that's where Synoptek comes in. At Synoptek, we understand that time is money, and when it comes to upgrading your business systems, speed and efficiency are crucial. Our teams specialize in rapid, seamless migrations to BC, ensuring your transition is smooth, fast, and tailored to your unique business needs. Migrating to a new system can be daunting, but with Synoptek, it doesn't have to be. We streamline the process to minimize downtime and disruption, so you can keep your business running smoothly while we handle the heavy lifting. From planning to execution, our experts are there every step of the way, leveraging best practice and proven methodologies to ensure your migration is not only quick, but also accurate and secure. So how does it work? First, we start with a comprehensive assessment of your current systems and business requirements. This allows us to map out a clear migration plan that's customized for your organization, leveraging best practices and proven methodologies. We'll work closely with you to understand your goals, your data architecture, and any specific challenges that need to be addressed during the migration. Next, we handle the technical details of migrating your data, configuring BC to match your business processes, and ensuring all integrations are fully functional. Our team's expertise in BC means that we can anticipate potential issues and solve them before they become big problems, keeping the migration on track and on time. But we don't stop there. Once the migration is complete, we provide thorough testing and training to your team so you're confident to hit the ground running with BC. Our goal is to make sure that you not only transition to BC quickly, but also start seeing the benefits immediately, whether it's the improved efficiency, better data insights, or streamlined operations. With Synoptek and BC, your business is not just moving forward, it's accelerated into a future of limitless possibilities. And back to you, okay? You're on mute.
Sorry, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so with that, as I was mentioning earlier, thank you, Charles, for that. So with with the Business Central and some of the information or the trends that Manan shared, the next topic is like we'll open it up for a conversation. Our conversation is around few things actually. One is if you look at Synoptek's business today, actually, like the way we go to market and look at our customer segment, any organization which is anywhere between like a 10 million and or a 10 million 50 employees all the way to 2 billion actually. So that's how we look at the SMB actually, small and medium businesses as a segment. And it is a significant part of company's business, right? So on a day-to-day basis, we are going out, meeting the customer CIOs and your colleagues in the industry, and we are hearing a lot of things about like when they go through this modernization exercise, we are asking them, hey, what are your top challenges and all that. So I'm trying to just pick some actually just to get your perspective, and is this also relevant to your business? And this is in no particular order actually, priority or whatnot. So Suhani, you want to open up the mic and see if we can get some audience view actually. So the challenges that we are hearing, the first one is, how big is a challenge for you to hire, consistently train and retain IT talent? The reason I say so is that right now there is a rush for the customers to move their existing accounting package to the cloud. So there are limited, there is a limited talent available actually, because everybody is so busy migrating, the existing customers. Second is, technology is changing very fast at a rapid pace actually, where till yesterday nobody talked about AI. Now we are talking about AI and some automation of like a repetitive task actually using AI. So the business can be more automated and and like more efficient, right? So one is hiring the talent when there is a shortage, constantly training them, and then of course retaining the IT talent, because once you train somebody actually, and they get trained on the platform and then the latest and greatest, how do you retain them actually when then there are industry that like offering like lucrative salaries, particularly in the consulting space and all that. So it always becomes a challenge for the businesses actually. So my question to you, like anyone wants to just chime in and say that is this something that your organization is also facing, and is something that you relate to actually? And anyone from the audience? Okay, so I'm assuming that did we unmute Devanshi? Like, did we allow them to unmute, like the audience?
Yes, we have.
Yeah. And if you want to just put your responses or the like questions or whatever in the chat, please feel free to do that as well, actually. So in terms of the challenges, one is, one we consistently hearing is about hiring, training, and retaining the IT talent. The next big one that we hear is, are there enough resources that organization is dedicating? Either it's the financial resources or a manpower actually that is participating in or the people's time actually to participate in some of these modernization exercise. So that's a kind of a second, I would say bottleneck actually from that standpoint. The third one is, you're seeing that today there is a drastic increase in the cyber attacks and the ransomware and other disruptions, like you see that post-pandemic, there's a hybrid work environment, and you have to have your systems that can be accessed like remotely and all that, and it brings its own set of challenges. So so there is a little bit of disruption and a drastic increase in some of the cyber attacks and all that. So the question we are asking is that how are you working, internally with your team and with your vendor to ensure that there's a business continuity and you are not affected by some of these, some of these challenges? And this is like a third big bottleneck actually that we came across, and people talk about saying that, hey, we are remote. Actually, how can we just continue our, say, accounting operations and continue to pay our bills and stuff like that, right? In a same consistent way the way we've been doing in the past, actually, right? And the last one actually that we hear is about, last one we hear about is how difficult it is to upkeep and support your system on a day-to-day basis, right? When we have a, IT talent shortage, the people are working remotely. How do you make sure that, you continue to like update your securities and, continue to support the users, even if they are, distributed actually in a multiple different locations? And continue to manage the solution where you can continue to improve the solution and keep it up to date actually from technology standpoint. So having heard, if you have any questions, please feel free to put it in chat. Having heard these challenges, Synoptek, approaching like a market a little differently, and how we are, supporting some of our customers. And that's my next conversation, actually. So let's talk about Synoptek's approach. Okay. And I want to start with saying that what is our business philosophy first, actually, that addresses some of these bottlenecks. So the business philosophy is that we strongly believe today as a company, which is core to us, is that every technology must be managed, right? And it should be managed with the total ROI. And ROI in our case is in our philosophy is the total life cycle, right from initial like a conceptualization to the planning to the deployment, and then continue to improve and support it actually on an ongoing basis, actually. And that's what we call it, like for the life of a contract, actually, right? So that's how we look at it. And the reason we look at it is today, if you look at like often customer approaches us actually with the request saying that, hey, and they pay us actually to replace or upgrade their existing ERPs. And we firmly believe that just by replacing your system or upgrading your existing ERP or accounting package, you don't drive any value. You only drive the value once the system is deployed and you started using it, actually. And if we are there as a provider with you in that journey, actually, then that's where we can drive the business outcome that you're looking at from some of these investments, right? So this is how we think a little differently, saying that, hey, how do we not only deploy actually, which everybody else is doing in the market, you would also stay with the customer to help them drive the value out of this the whole deployment and the investments that you did, right? So that's the one. Second is so having said that, what is different actually in terms of our offering? So you heard Charles talking about Business Central as a ERP. We have kind of just made this as a kind of a service actually for our customers. So what it means is that Business Central is a Synoptek's bundled offering, that we have come up this bundle offering, which has a different components. You have a one-time system integration or a project cost actually. So suppose you are doing a deployment which is financials, supply chain and some warehousing and whatnot. We will still go ahead and deploy that project the way we are doing it right today, like a 3 months, 6 months timeline with same milestones and whatnot. And then you have ongoing cloud license subscriptions that you pay actually, like on the cloud ERP. Then you have your infrastructure actually that connects with it. Either you have some scanning devices and whatnot in the warehouse, or some other systems, printers and other stuff that it connects actually for the picking, packing and whatnot, right? So you have some infrastructure that you're deployed. And then there is a day-to-day application maintenance. So what Synoptek has done is, including your ERP, like rather than just going and doing an ERP and then trying to find a vendor to, have a support to it or try to train your internal team, we have bundled all these things together and a flat monthly fee saying that, hey, Mr. Customer, you have this, upgrade that you are doing, and then you need somebody to support it for you. We will just bundle everything and then spread the whole thing over like a 36 to 60 months actually. So it becomes like a flat monthly fee actually. Now, what it does to our customer in terms of the, like advantages, one is that it lowers the entry barrier. Like particularly the small businesses are always like hard pressed for the cash flows and whatnot, right? So what we are saying is that, hey, you don't have to take, like if you're doing a modernization project, you don't have to take out a $50,000 or a $200,000 or a $600,000 out of your cash flow to do this project. We can just make it like a flat monthly, like a capex versus opex, right? So that's the one advantage that we talk about. Second thing we talked about is your project spend. Like today, if you start a project on a normal project basis, then you start with maybe a $100,000 project, then you discover a few more things along the route, and then you realize that, hey, the 50,000 investment has become 100,000 or whatever that you never planned for actually, and then it becomes a conversation between the vendor and the customer actually. In this case, since it is a flat monthly fee, then your investments becomes much more predictable. So which means unless there is like a significant change in your scope or areas that you're trying to cover, the scope remains the same, then you have a predictable spend that you are doing actually. And then there is a shared risk actually that you do. So shared risk is you still deploy in 6 months time, but you are paying over a period, which means as your vendor, I'm also sharing the same risk with you, saying that, hey, you just deploy the system, start happily using it, and then you pay over a period of time and all that, so that we are sharing the risk as your vendor, right? So that's another advantage. The third one is like you have a resource actually that continues with you actually. So once we deploy, and if it's a 36 months arrangement, we just make sure that our resources are consistent on your project, and we are not just doing a project for you and moving them from one project to another project. So there is a knowledge retention and the same person that you talk to every day actually for 36 months or 60 months that you are in relationship with Synoptek, right? The last one is, of course, flexibility of deployment resources. So time to time, you don't have to like hire a different vendors to do a different things. Like suppose you start with say Business Central as a service, and then tomorrow you realize that, hey, you also need a Power Platform for some Power BI and reporting, or some low code, no code app actually where you can spin off some apps and all that. As a part of your flat monthly fee, we can bundle some hours where you can also have access to those other resources where you can do some incremental stuff, so we can drive some value out of the whole deployment that you did, right? The last thing is the roadmap can be evolving. So which means we have some customers who have also asked, like typically if you say, hey, I need a consulting to help us put together an IT roadmap for next 3 years, 5 years or whatnot, we typically for some customers have bundled some consulting hours, and that gives them an ability. And this is like a mainstream enterprise kind of a consulting that you will probably pay and go and pay a very heavy price for it. So we bundle that whole consulting piece into the flat monthly fee, where you can also get some ongoing guidance, where we can put together a roadmap for you, saying that, hey, this is based on your business goals and growth goals and whatnot, expansions and all that. This is the roadmap, IT roadmap, business roadmap looks like, and this is the IT roadmap looks like, aligning to that business roadmap actually. So we can literally take you on that journey. So it's not that you're doing these ad hoc projects with, like a multiple vendors on a need basis and some kind of a patchwork, but, a consistent way of doing a full roadmap on the product and taking you through the whole journey, actually, right from conceptualization to all the way to realization. And you get a consulting, advisory also actually as a part of that. So these are some of the like advantages that, we heard our customers could drive from these systems actually. Moving forward, I want to take an example of one specific customer, which is a roofing company. It's based in Austin, Texas, actually. So they're a M&A driven company, and they acquired and they become like right from 30 million to all the way to 200 million in like no time, because they acquired 3 or 4 different entities. So challenge for them was to get a scalable system actually that can, one is help integrate these companies or M&As that they are doing fast. At the same time, have a consistent processes actually, so they can like run the business in the same consistent way actually. So we worked with this company, in a longer term, assignment, where we started with the conceptualization, a little bit of a roadmap and how they can, integrate the future companies and stuff like that. We deployed Business Central for them. And then, as and when they acquired new entities, we integrated them fast because we created some templates within it where you can just quickly integrate the company, just bring the data over, and then you're up and running actually. So this was a customer that we did. We have I would say so many examples of like 250 different customers we deployed. So we have multiple examples very close to your industry and some knowledge that we can share definitely there actually. So with that, I'll hand over to Charles actually to talk about something that you can leverage to at least explore some of these information that I shared about, like we shared about the business, like the challenges and the business application and how Synoptek is doing uniquely. Charles will talk about how we can offer some of these to you actually. One second. Yeah. All right, Charles, over to you. You're on mute, Charles.
My apologies. So if you're ready to take your business to the next level, utilizing Dynamics Business Central, what we invite you to take advantage is a BC assessment and envisioning session with us. And that's designed to unlock the full potential of your business. So imagine having a clear strategic vision for your business with a tailored plan to make it all happen. That's exactly what our envisioning session is all about. For current BC customers, it's an opportunity to dive deeper into your system and optimize what's working and discover new ways to enhance your operations. And for those of you new to BC, this is your chance to see firsthand how BC can transform your business processes, streamline operations, and drive growth. During this personalized session, our team of experts will work closely with you to assess your current setup, identify opportunities for improvement, and envision a future where your business is operating at peak efficiency. We'll explore how BC can be tailored to meet your unique needs, whether that's through advanced reporting, automated workflows, or seamless integrations with other Microsoft tools you're already using. But it's not just about optimizing your systems. It's about envisioning the future of your business. We'll help you map out a strategic roadmap that aligns with your goals, so you're not just reacting to changes, but driving them with confidence. Think of it as a blueprint for success designed just for you. If you're ready to get started, signing up is easy. Just scan the QR code that's attached to this slide, or respond back to some of our invites, and you'll be on your way to a brighter, more efficient future. Whether you're looking to refine your current BC setup or explore what BC can do for you, this session is your gateway to unlocking new possibilities.
Thanks so much, Charles. And now I want to share just a couple of our upcoming webinars. We have a webinar on September 17th about strategic IT spending, how to achieve cost savings and service level excellence, along with a webinar on September 24th with AK, who's speaking today, about application managed services, maximize your D365 Business Central returns. And then we have Q4 webinars as well, a monthly series that we invite you and other colleagues to join. Now we are going to move to our Q&A section. Thank you so much for those of you who have added a few questions in here. We'll just kick this right off. Go ahead and continue to add your questions, and I will take them as they come. We have a few here. Okay, so First question is, how long does a typical implementation take?
So typical implementation can be as low as 6 to 8 weeks, or up to a year long, depending upon the different processes that are required for us to handle during the implementation.
Okay, another one, how do we do Business Central as a service if we are already on BC?
So from that perspective, it really comes back to there's an envisioning session where we understand what's currently how are you currently utilizing Business Central today. That moves into an assessment process where we'll come in, we'll land with your team, walk through your business processes that are working for you, what's not working, what modules are you using, what ISVs are in play, and really understand we want to understand why you chose BC, and understand why are we looking to make a change? How do we drive additional growth and an additional ROI from the Business Central application? And then that also moves into BC as a managed application, where we will land with your support team. We will be an extension of your team to be able to support you, whether it's an issue, whether it's an enhancement, whether it's just guidance for the future and future planning of we want to make this strategic change to our organization. How can BC empower that? How can we leverage it? And we want to be that trusted advisor.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. Got a question around a recent cybersecurity attack on CrowdStrike as well. And it's just a couple concerns from a business standpoint around having the products being managed in the three buckets: Microsoft, AWS, and Google. How does Dynamics 365 address and help keep the business running?
Yeah, I can take that. I think as a managed services provider, business continuity is always one of our big focus, actually, given post pandemic, all this hybrid work environment and whatnot, and given that more and more services are modernizing today. Like, think about it, like 2 years ago we were talking about physical firewalls sitting in the offices. Like, today there are no physical firewalls, everything sits in the cloud. So how do you secure environment? How do you make sure there is no unauthorized access and all that? So to answer your particular question, and this is nothing to do with D365, it's more generic answer saying that, hey, how do you ensure that there is no cyber attack or there's a CrowdStrike kind of a situation with your business? Like, some of the strategies we deployed for some of our mission critical customers, where like they are in the healthcare space or the financial services space, where they cannot afford any downtime, or there are some contractors which are to the defense and whatnot, where the security is a prime important. We have done some kind of a hybrid deployment, even in the Dynamics D365. Today, there is a on-premises deployment where any updates that you are making, particularly I'm referring to the CrowdStrike, actually, the situation that happened where they applied some update, globally to all their customers, and that caused the disruption in the services. So some of those, we can control on how we are pushing some of those updates and whatnot. And of course, the security is all about who has access and how they are accessing the systems and all this stuff. So we have a very detailed approach and a strategy around that we can talk to you in a more specific terms, actually.
Perfect. Thanks. And continue to ask questions. I see more coming in. Let's see, what are the common challenges faced during implementation and how can they be mitigated?
A lot of the common challenges that we face is truly a change management process. And I'd actually invite Manon to speak up around this and how we help mitigate that risk. You're on mute, Manon. So seems like we're having some technical difficulties here. But really, what some of the challenges that we do face is truly just organizational adoption and the users not being involved in the implementation and understanding why. So what we really look at is from a holistically is both from a technical and from a functional side, really getting that across to them. And Manon, seems you've resolved.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. We look at the overall change management in a quite comprehensive manner, because whenever we talk about implementation of any kind of system, it is important from people, process, and technology perspective. So whenever we get into that, we see how, and again, it ties back to how we implement the system. It is going by value by design. So how organizations are getting impacted, what business area is looking kind of what sort of importance is there, what business processes are getting changed. And based on that, we try to solve their actual ongoing problems by doing this implementation. That's how, and once they see that their problems are getting addressed or the challenges are getting mitigated, they see more adopted. So it's rather than it's being enforced on them that this is something we have to do, it is more around this is something we want to do so that it helps in fixing the issues that they are facing. And they definitely see the benefit of that. That's how it works.
All right, so we have a couple questions actually that are paired together. So it's about, are you adding value to what Microsoft already offers? And then also just wondering about, the question says, wouldn't Microsoft offer help with implementation of D365? This person wanted to know, or they liked the idea that D365 install is not enough, but ongoing use and maintenance. So wants to understand like why BCAS is good.
Yeah, so that's a great point. So Business Central is written by Microsoft, but Microsoft and Microsoft Consulting does not directly implement. They use a partner network such as Synoptek to actually handle the implementation. And the reason there is we come in, we land with both industry knowledge from Anand's team. We land with ERP knowledge from my team in the Business Central side, and we really look at it and get in with your users and want to understand how you're doing business today. We also bring industry best practices, and so that's our value add, and where Microsoft does not handle that implement, and why Microsoft does not handle that implementation is we want to get in and understand your business and make the system work for you. And make sure that we have that increased user adoption.
Just to add on top of that, what John said, I think it is important to learn that to make the ERP successful, it is very important that it's been implemented specifically. And this is more of a platform. So it's not just that ready to use the moment you just turn on some switches and start like the installation of the overall system. It's more about making it for the use of your specific organization. So configuring your processes, it can allow you to configure whichever way your organization operates. So try and use that. And that's where I think the partner is important. And there are two stages of it. Once you implement the product and once it is ready to be used for your things, which is where a partner implements it. But this is the BC as a service is more in terms of making sure that you don't have to have an in-house talent invested or sitting on your payroll continuously just keeping the lights on. This is where the BC as a service kind of offering that Synoptek puts, where not only just monitoring your day-to-day system, but also ensures that if you need to tweak anything, if there are new changes coming up due to regulations, due to compliance, due to any kind of change, or maybe let's say very simple example, as a part of your growth strategy, you're acquiring a new company. So how do you ensure that the ERP is taking care of all those acquisitions that you're making? So this is all holistic things, which is just coming. So ERP, it's not just about installing a software, it is going beyond that. And that's where I think in this whole journey, we are with you to take care of all the things that are coming to your way.
Thanks. All right, a few more. All right, how do licensing fees work and what options are available?
So Business Central has a few different ways that we can license it. We can license it via a named user from that perspective, and it really comes down to the capabilities of that user and that role. We have some limited users as well, what we call team members, where if they need the ability just to run some reports or maybe do an approval, we can handle that. And then we also have non-named users where we can, as AK was saying, if we have warehouse workers or multiple shifts, we can actually license the device instead of having to license every single user that are in the back. Also, for the customers that are on legacy products from Microsoft, NAV, GP, SL, there are incentives to migrate your licenses to Business Central as well that we can take advantage of it as well during that assessment process.
And for one more question, and if we don't get to your question, we'll definitely reach out. If you have any more, just put them in here. We'd love to chat. Let's see. How customizable is Business Central to fit specific business needs?
So there's a couple ways to approach customization. We do have a full software development team where we can do ground up customizations, whether that's in Business Central, Power Platform, any other programming language that we have, as well as Business Central has a very large and robust app source. So think of it like the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store, where these are tried and true ISVs that we can bring in to add additional functionality to Business Central. So we may not incur that technical debt of a customization. It really comes down to the individual need or requirement on how we would potentially solve that.
Great. Thanks. And thank you all for joining us today for our session on Modernize Your ERP with Dynamics 365 Business Central. We shared tips and strategies on successfully embarking or transitioning traditional ERP systems to the more efficient and scalable business solution, our Business Central solution, and provided insights on Synoptek's Business Central as a service offering. Don't miss the opportunity to modernize your ERP by unlocking the full potential of Dynamics Business Central and transforming your operations with Synoptek. If you would like to continue the conversation or are interested in taking advantage of the complimentary envisioning session, I have it here on screen. You can just take a picture of that QR code and go directly to the site. Or reach out to us. We will be following up with you in an email, and so keep an eye out for that. And you'll have access to that because you have joined this webinar. Until next time, take care and have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
You.